Hello everybody, I'm going to be teaching you how to do multicolor 3D prints in the Bambu Studio and how to take an SVG file into a 3D file. So you can go to Gemini and you can ask for a black and white stencil. With this stencil you can also take it as a sticker base as well, and it doesn't have to be three-dimensional, but what you can do is take a simple prompt like what I'm typing in right now, and as long as it's black and white, it will work perfect for the next software that we'll use. Now that you have the image, make sure to download it and save it as a normal image file, PNG or JPEG. Now that we're in Inkscape, what we're going to do is we're going to go to File, we're going to go Import, and then with Import, we're going to choose our selected image. And then after that, we're going to go trace bitmap. With tracing the bitmap, it allows us to extract the black and white image to save it as an SVG. Now you don't have to make it smaller like what I'm doing here currently, but you're free to do so and to distort the image whatever way that you want. And after this, we're going to go to save as, and then you can save it as a normal SVG, or you can save it as an Inkscape, but either way it's an SVG file and you can use it to make stickers or three-dimensional items that are 2D but have a 3D look. Now that we're in Fusion 360, what you want to do is you want to go to Insert, and with Insert you'll go to Select SVG. You select it from your computer. It won't show anything on my screen for you guys because it doesn't want to show any personal information, which is fine, but you just want to follow the prompts. I have my sizing to millimeters because it's the most accurate in the 3D printing and engineering world, so this is what I do. What I do as well is I like putting a background for whatever I make. If it's just a 2D three-dimensional image, I just do either a circle or a rectangle, and I kind of mess up here. I don't want it to go in the positive direction. I want it to go in the negative direction, and it's usually about 6 millimeters. And after this, there's going to be some very specific instructions that I want to make sure you guys follow. If you don't do this properly, you'll have one color, and you clicked on this video to make sure you have multiple colors. So what you want to do is when you have it saved, you don't want it to be saved as join when you make it taller. You want it to be saved as object, which makes each piece its own object and it doesn't join into the base. By doing this, it allows it to stay in its one spot, and you can then save it into whatever slicer you want, split it, and then coordinate a color into that. What I do is I extrude it about 2 millimeters as the highest point possible, and then everything else for different textures and dimension is 1.8 millimeters. Now this gives it a very texturized three-dimensional look. As a finished product, it looks really good. This is what I like, and you can also change the setting into ironing the very topmost surface, and it just adds a perfect finished textured look as well. To save the file from Fusion 360, what you want to do is you go to Utilities and then Print, and then you select the whole object by the topmost tab on the left side, and it's kind of like this image tab, and then you go to Utilities on the right where you're printing, just like this, and then my mouse cursor kind of shows what I would be doing, but it doesn't show up on the computer. Now that we're in the Bambu Slicer, what you want to do for the whole object is select the whole thing, right click, go to Split Objects, but you don't want to do split into whole objects, you want to split into parts. If you split into whole objects, it'll remove each one as its own separate object, and you won't get your full piece in multicolored. Then what you do is you just go to Objects, and then you select your color through the AMS system options, and there you go. You have a multicolored print that has up to 16 different colors. I have 4 or 3 really, and there you go. That's how you do multicolored prints. This is what the final print should look like. It'll have different height layers as well for the very topmost, and that gives you that two-dimensional but three-dimensional look as well, just due to different textures and orientations. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it to be very helpful. If you have any questions, please put them down in the comments and I can make more videos to further explain how to do things and figure out how I can show menus as well so that it makes it easier for everybody. Have a great day. Happy 3D printing.